So first we have John Vassell. Community Sports and Partnership Unit Activity Report from February to July. Good morning. Don't forget to press your, if it's green, you go. Yep.
Ngā mihi nui, kia koutou katoa, and thank you for the opportunity to talk with you today. Rather than walk through the report line by line, I'll take it as read, and a few of our colleagues will share shortly highlights from our work over quarters 3 and 4. But first, I'd like to acknowledge Sarah Maruzi and Ange Smith for their really amazing work in pulling together our report. Community development doesn't fit neatly into boxes. It's dynamic, relational, and often hard to quantify. So that's why we've been working to better capture the impact of what we do. So Sarah's been leading this mahi, strengthening how we report on the unit's impact and helping us to tell a clearer story about the value of our work and that of the community. Her contribution has been instrumental, and I just wanted to thank you for it. So thanks, Sarah and Ange. The Community Support and Partnerships Unit exists to strengthen the fabric of our communities by enabling local leadership, supporting resilience, and ensuring council decisions are grounded in lived experience. We do this by supporting elected members, fostering belonging and placemaking, leading resilience planning, funding community-led initiatives, and building strategic partnerships. The context we're working in is complex, as you'll all be aware. Communities are navigating economic uncertainty, climate risk, social fragmentation, and global instability. These pressures are felt locally through food insecurity, housing stress, and the rising demand for connection and support. Our role is to back communities to lead, mobilising volunteers, responding to local needs, and building long-term resilience. This work is not only socially vital, it's a smart investment in the city's wellbeing and future. So I'd like to hand over now to Josh Wharton, and he's going to update you on community grant funding. And I'm just wondering, would we take questions at the end of our presentation, so it'd be great so we can get through it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, Josh.
Thanks. Tēnā koe te matakahi, ko Joshua Wharton, tōku ingoa. I think I have the first slide, if we can. Oh, we've got a clicker, we do too. So this is just a brief summary of Council's contestable funding schemes. And in terms of my highlight for community funding, one part that I wanted to touch on is we've just recently completed our Strengthening Communities Fund, both at the council level and the local community boards. The update from which is that we're expecting around 3.178 million volunteer hours to be supported through that funding administered, the value of which can be a little difficult to calculate in terms of a dollar figure, but if we said it was roughly at minimum wage, that'd be about 74 million invested into the city, or if we took living wage, that's about 92 million. And that's not speaking to all of the non-economic benefits that comes from the likes of Youth Line, the City Mission, Youth Business Support, Dress for Success, and more, as you can imagine. Then, over the last year, one of the major priorities has actually been taking all of these diverse funds that you can look through and essentially capturing them in a consistent manner so that applicants have a similar experience with council, whether they're coming to an environmental fund, whether they're coming to a community fund, a place-based fund, an events fund, etc. Now, each of these funds has their own guiding strategy, works with a unique team within council. So for example, sustainability will be working to hit climate change objectives, or Place Partnership Fund will be looking to improve vibrancy in the city. And each of these will sit as its own line in the long-term plan. But I guess what has been really key, and what I hope you've seen over the last year, is that when we bring reports, there's a consistent look and feel to funding decisions, both at the boards and at the council level. The other priority that I wanted to briefly touch on was our community and special loans. So this is something that we provide to community groups in order to enable certain outcomes to take place. And we've been following up with all the groups that have existing community and special loans just to make sure that they're, one, meeting their repayment obligations, but also structuring those repayments in a way that is reasonable but allows them to continue their work. So as of this week, all of our current loans are being repaid, and what that means is we have a pot of money that's set aside, and as the repayments come in from the groups, that pot fills back up and allows us to make new loans. The loan scheme is run at 20 basis points above council's cost of borrowing, so is effectively rates neutral, and that's our cost of borrowing estimated over a 5-year period, which, just for your information, for financial year 26 is 4.7%. So compared to other commercial loans you might get from banks, one, we're a little more flexible because we're seeking to invest in community benefit, but also gives a better rate to support what we're trying to achieve here. So that's more or less my community funding, but I'm happy to speak to any questions on any of the funds listed or elsewhere at the end. But I'll pass on to, I believe, Sina, our Pacifica liaison advisor. Sina.
Talofa lava and warm Pacific greetings. Today I'll provide an update on the Pacific community's long-standing request for a dedicated Pacific Community Hub, Council's response to this request, and the current progression of interest in Westminster Depot as a potential site. Just to give you a little bit of background, last year on 13th of May 2024, Nina Oberg-Humphreys with over 50 Pacific community members presented at the long-term plan hearings. They reiterated a request spanning more than 40 years for a Pacific village or hub that supports Christchurch's Pacific peoples by celebrating cultural heritage, nurturing cultural pride, and contributing to the social and economic vitality of Otatahi. They have formed a project steering group to progress this idea on behalf of the wider community. Council resolved that staff explore options for a Pacific hub, including Woolston Working Men's Club, and report back. Staff have started discussion on behalf of the Pacific Community Steering Group with key funders who have indicated support for such a facility, whether a new build or a refurbishment. Progress to date: several site options have been scoped and will be formally reported back to Council after the local elections. In the meantime, staff have been supporting Pacific community leaders to engage widely across Pan-Pacific communities. An engagement report will be completed by the 20th of September 2025. Through this process, the Pacific Community Steering Group have identified Westminster Depot in Māoriha as their preferred site and have made contact with the Parks team. A briefing has been scheduled to the Waipapa Community Board on the 11th of September 2025, indicating the community's interest in the Westminster Depot site and building. Why the Westminster Depot? Located on the east side of Christchurch, where the majority of Pacific peoples live, ensuring accessibility and strong usage, preliminary feedback from the community is consistent with this. The site is currently underutilised and has been associated with antisocial activity. Establishing a hub here could transform it into a positive, vibrant community space. Using a phased approach, opportunities identified by the Pacific Community Steering Group include a large communal facility for cultural festivals, functions and events, community gardens and shared outdoor spaces, office spaces for Pacific organisations, indoor and outdoor areas for physical activity and wellbeing programs, a facility that can serve as an emergency response hub in times of need. Next steps, we are working closely with the Parks asset planners to navigate the processes required to potentially secure Westminster Depot. On the 11th of September 2025, we will brief the Waipapa Community Board on the community's preference. Following the local elections, we will bring a further update to Council as part of the report back on the Pacific Community's LTP submission. The project will proceed in phases, ensuring alignment with Council's community strategies, consideration of wider community impacts, robust consultation and engagement, sustainable funding and support. Thank you.
Thank you, Sina. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, John.
Good morning, everyone. I'm actually Rachel Hunt and Emily Toes from our community team who are unable to be here today. So over the past year, the community support with our civil defence and emergency management colleagues have been working on and delivering a reasonably extensive tsunami project. The final scope of the tsunami project was locked down by the council on the 18th of June with council's decision on tsunami alerting systems. The tsunami project has 6 active concurrent work streams, including community resilience, public information, sirens and alerting systems, signage, tsunami planning, and what's called a messaging framework, where the relevant information on tsunami risk and actions is wrapped up with other council activities of a similar ilk in similar communities, such as PC12 district plan changes, climate change adaptation. So we work across the council to ensure that there's a coherent package of messages going out in a coordinated manner. We're joined up. The next initiative on the tsunami programme is planned to leverage off National Shakeout campaign, which occurs annually in the spring, and this is on the 16th of October. We are collaborating across the council and community, coastal communities, especially from Spencer Park to South Shore, as I said, to leverage off the messages that are broadcast nationally. So more specifically, we will explain and promote what long or strong get gone means. Look, if an earthquake's around for more than a minute or you can't stand up, get gone. What does get gone mean? It means evacuate now to a safe zone, inland or high ground. Don't wait for a warning. We're supporting households to plan evacuations and to be prepared. We're encouraging households to be prepared. They have an evacuation grab bag, and mostly importantly, we're providing a bit of information to households on where they can get more information and help. I said this is absolutely leveraging off a national campaign that happens anyway. We are just making it particularly relevant to the Christchurch at this time. It'll be supported by a extensive multimedia campaign leading up to October the 16th. There'll be a memo to elected members. They will have information to call centre, newsline, staff emails. Just playing to our strengths on what we've got. Also, we will be mobilising our communities. Our community development advisors will be working with our partner local organisations to get the info out. And we'll be disseminating this information through community networks. I said this is part of our wider tsunami programme, but we just thought we'd take the opportunity to leverage off the annual national campaign. So communities are going to know about this. The messaging is simple and effective. We are aiming to reach people in multiple ways. No new messaging, but just really supporting what's out there. This is a very small heads up, and look, we'll keep you posted along the journey.
Okay, so You're good. Thank you. We have run out of time, but we had one. I've got time. We had 3 questions, but Tyler, you had your hand up way first before anyone else. So
There's a really quick one, and then there's one about the procurement models we might have. The first one is if you can send us the economic impact from those community funding pots, that's awesome, we can share that. But the big one I'm asking is about what's currently being done in terms of working across units. Like, could we upscale more in terms of procurement for capital projects? And I'm wondering if there's work currently being done or if it's already in the procurement policy that we've got. I'm thinking about things like watch this space, people like that, that could actually be a part of the capital that we actually put into the area instead of paying a contractor to do it.
Sorry, Tyler, what was your question?
So I'm wondering what's currently being done in terms of social procurement. So, for example, we're using a lot of organisations who do work on capital projects.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they could actually be modelled in to a lot of the things that we do already. Instead of paying a contractor, we look at these guys.
We can take note of that, and we will discuss that with our project teams and procurement teams.
Great, thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much, team, for coming in and keeping us up to date. Thank you.